Hello, everyone. This is the Razgrees with my co-host, the Blue Duck Gold Duck from the wildly successful Mount Moon Review podcast, coming at you with a Mount Moon Extra. And this is something we do when we have some breaking information. It don't get much more breaking than this. What do we got, Duck?
My heart's broken.
Your heart is breaking. It's. We got an email today from Pokemon Company International.
Yeah, and it's ends up being a little worse than I thought it was going to be. I mean, we've been expecting this news. We talked about it last night on our podcast that Worlds was probably going to get canceled, and today we got
confirmation.
Yep.
Yeah. So unfortunately for everyone out there, the Blue Duck, Gold Duck, and the Razgrees are both psychic types, and we have got confirmation from the Pokemon Company that 2020 World Championships has officially been canceled, but that's not really all. That's what people are talking about online, but there's a lot of stuff they're missing about that. Duck, you want to fill us in on what people are not saying?
Yeah, okay. So on the article on the Pokemon website, it says, with the cancellation of these pinnacle events, the 2020 Play Pokemon Championship Series is suspended, and all sanctioned Play Pokemon events, including League, Club, Pre-Release, League Challenge, League Cup, Premier Challenge, and Mid-Season Showdown are canceled until further notice. No championship points will be awarded for the remainder of the season. Any points earned up to this point of the current championship series will roll over to the 2021 Play Pokemon Championship Series.
Yeah, and that's a really big thing that people need to take into account is leagues are no longer sanctioned. So Pokemon is erring on the side of caution, and they're going to go ahead and cancel for the rest of the season. Now, the season runs through July, folks, not just
Right.
April, where most places are in quarantine until May. The season runs until July. Everything is hereby canceled. That means for the first time when we have a World Championships outside of North America, and people are not going to have that opportunity. And I feel bad for our European counterparts who were finally getting their own major event. Now, there is important to note that there is a sanctioned event still actually taking place, and that is the VGC online events are still going to go ahead, but there will be no championship points attached to them anymore. That has been removed. So if you're still registered for the international the international event that's on Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can still participate in that, and I highly recommend you do so, especially if you're home right now under quarantine. But there will be no championship points attached to that. Now, if you have championship points, like Pokemon said, those points will be attributed towards your 2021 season. But the question is, are they going to raise the points for the 2021 season that you need in order to make the World Championships? I can see from my perspective that they're probably going to have to, because if you don't, you're going to have a stadium full of people. But typically, you do not know what the points are going to be until about halfway through the season, maybe a little bit before. And when Pokemon says, okay, this is what you need in order to get an invite. It's really kind of frustrating, but usually you find out around December or January, sometimes earlier, but not that often. And what they're doing is they're trying to determine what the threshold of points are going to be, and it's a guesstimate. It's a guesstimate in what they're going to have and what they're going to be able to hold in their building that they're already scheduled, because those buildings are scheduled a year or more out, and they can only handle so much. And we saw that in DC, Duck. They did not have staff for anything other than the main event because they didn't realize it was going to be as big as it was, especially with the Open. Do you think they're going to raise the minimums to numbers that we're not used to seeing?
I mean, they could take the amount of points people receive this year as a projection of what they can get next year. We do know it's still going to be in London in 2021, and I believe that might help with the numbers a little bit. So that, there's probably going to be plenty of American players that qualify and don't go to London.
Yeah, that is a big factor.
That could help with their numbers, and on the other hand, I don't think there's that many people that are like, oh man, if I was just 2 months away, if I had 2 more months, then I would have made it to Worlds. You know what I mean? Like, most of the players that are going to go to Worlds, they get the points pretty early on.
They do.
Now, there's exceptions to that. Obviously, there's some people that just get unlucky and are 2 points away. by the time the cutoff point. But
Oh, I remember last year there was people grinding league challenges, high ranked players that were grinding league challenges right up until the cutoff because they were just a couple points shy of that world's invite, and we saw that in our leagues. So it's not something that's unheard of, but most of your professional players that go to Worlds on a consistent basis, they typically have their points, before Christmas, typically.
and then they're just grinding the rest of the year to try to make it to the top 16 players of the world.
Yeah, because that's the important thing, and that's the other thing too is Pokemon. They're honoring the points, but I believe they're also honoring the stipends, which is a big thing. Those top 16 ranked players get paid to go to Worlds, folks. It usually will cover their travel and their lodging.
They also don't have to play in day one.
Yeah, they go
the World Championships either.
straight to day 2. So there's a big benefit to being in that top 16 in your division. So you'll see your top ranked players that will they're trying desperately to stay in that top 16, and they're honoring those stipends next year. So I'm not sure what they'll do with the day 1 buys, but they have plenty of time to figure that out.
Here's something kind of funny. This is further down in their article. It says, "We look forward to celebrating the accomplishments of all our competitors at an expanded 2021 World Championship in London." Now, are they just saying it's expanded because there's going to be more people? Or are they saying expanded because the format of Worlds next year is going to be expanded? Because that would be nuts.
I have to think that it's because it's going to be a larger event.
That is a very poor choice of words.
It is, especially when you have a format that has a particular name and one that draws a lot of attention when you say it. Yeah, maybe different choice of words would have been more appropriate there, but. We are going to be back in London next year, and there's a lot of people that are angry that we're going to be in London again. And I say to them, what about the people that were in London or in Europe that were so looking forward to their first event? Having that first event, and now it's been taken out from underneath them. At least they have an opportunity next year. And you know what? This gives you an extra year to save up your money and get yourself to London and enjoy traveling. That's something that we in the United States don't do that often. We don't do enough. You need to do more traveling in your life, I guarantee it. And
not right now.
Not right now. Now you stay home. You stay home and you play on PTCGO and you watch the Mount Moon Review podcast. But once we get through this, inevitably we will rise and overcome. You should look forward to stuff being in London. Go next year, enjoy it, and be happy for the people that don't have to year after year after year spend their entire year saving and doing real life grinding so they can come to the United States and enjoy a world championship or Toronto. So, Duck, with it being in London next year, do you think you're going to go?
Probably not.
Come on, we'll record a podcast from London. What do you say?
If we receive influx of donations on this on our show, then maybe I'll go out. But currently, right now, I am unable to plan a trip for London with my financial status.
maybe we'll make it an extra life stretch goal. Then we'll go to London. So, but what do you think? When they're saying expanded, do you think they're going to have more people, or they make it a bigger event to try to make up for the fact that they're canceling?
I think that's what they mean. They're just expecting to have some more people.
But also, you and I have been to a world championship. We know what they expect there. Maybe they're going to make it bigger. They're going to make it badder. They're just going to make it a celebration of all things Pokemon.
Maybe that would be really cool if it's like a comeback year for the franchise.
Yeah, because the only thing that really has me worried about the cancellation is not just the cancellation of Worlds, but cancellation of the season. I worry that a lot of people are gonna lose interest and leave the game.
That could be. I mean, I might not see some of the kids come back to my league.
Yeah, they're definitely going to move on, and you're going to see a drop, and it's going to be up to the professors to really, really work with your with your stores and try to rebuild after this. And I encourage everyone to start making a plan. Start getting on social media now. Start being in communication with your leagues. Set up Discords. Set up different ways that you can still have that interactive ability with all your members of your league. Keep them engaged, and hopefully this does not spell the end for competitive Pokemon. So, Duck, I think that's all we got for this copy of the Mount Moon Review Extra. We do encourage you to check back with our podcast each and every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch channel. But it's also available on our YouTube channel on demand, and that is just search for the Mount Moon Crew. And you can also find the audio version of the podcast on all major podcasting platforms by Tuesday mornings. Other than that, Duck, get us out of here.
All right, guys. Until next time, it's too good to be blue. It's probably gold.
All right, folks, stay safe, stay home, and try to enjoy the time with your families.
Also, happy birthday, Will Post.
Happy birthday, Will Post.
You think you're safe because you killed my life orb. Baby, do you dare to not flinch? 'Cause I'm coming at you like a dark pulse. I know you're gonna throw. You're gonna throw a storm. But I got that lucky chance. There's no critical hits.